The galaxy had many laws, some written, some whispered, and some etched so deeply into memory that no one dared test them. Among them, the oldest and most sacred was this: do not harm the human children. No one could say exactly how the law began. Some claimed it was written in the blood of wars long past, when humans first clawed their way onto the interstellar stage. Others whispered it was born from a massacre that no record survived. But the rule held, century after century, unbroken. Even humanity's enemies respected it. Even those who wanted Earth burned to ash knew the line that could not be crossed. Until the Council broke it. It started with a raid on the colony of Haven's Reach, a quiet world, barely 100,000 settlers, nestled in the arms of a nebula. Its only crime, voting against the Council's tariffs. The raid was supposed to be routine, a show of force, a reminder of authority, but when the soldiers landed, they went too far. Streams of footage slipped out. Human children laughing, playing in the dust streets dragged from homes. Some shoved into cages, some struck when they cried, others simply vanished. The galaxy went still. Every race that had lived long enough knew what this meant. The whisper started first in border taverns, then in military barracks, then in the council itself. A phrase repeated again and again. Heavy with dread, they touched the children. On Earth the response was not immediate. No speech from the president. No broadcasts of outrage. The humans were silent for 3 days. Then the fleets moved. Not the ragged defense flotillas the galaxy remembered. These ships were black, angular, silent in the void. They did not broadcast codes. They did not send warnings. They arrived above council-lined worlds like shadows, and they did not leave survivors. The first was the garrison of Velos Prime, gone in 27 minutes. The second, a fortified moon, fell in under an hour. By the time the council realized what was happening, 5 colonies were already burning, their defenses torn apart as if they were paper. The humans didn't issue demands. They didn't ask for negotiations. They sent only one transmission, repeated across every channel: you broke the law. Now we break you. Panic rippled through the council. Armada scrambled. Fleets were dispatched. They thought numbers would save them. Numbers meant nothing. Human ships didn't fight like fleets. They fought like predators. Stealth drives slipped them past blockades. Weapons tore through shields as though they weren't there. Council ships fired volleys into empty space, chasing ghosts. And when the humans struck, it was always at the hard command bridges. Supply lines, fuel depots, entire sectors went dark. Council leaders convened in desperation. "This is madness," cried the Kelsh envoy. "They cannot fight all of us." But deep down, they remembered the law. They remembered why it had been spoken in whispers for centuries, and they began to understand. Humans were not fighting to win. They were fighting to punish. The survivors of Haven's Reach were found weeks later, hidden in the ruins. Of the children taken, half were never seen again. The others were broken, scarred, their eyes hollow. The recordings of their voices spread like wildfire across human networks. One clip, of a boy no older than 6, played everywhere. They said we were just leverage. They laughed when we cried. That was the final spark. Humanity unleashed everything. Drones blotted out stars. Orbital cannons cracked moons. Commandos slipped into council capitals, leaving messages carved into the walls with blood. Never again. World after world fell silent finally. The council begged for peace. Delegates groveled, voices trembling, promising reparations, offering tribute. They pleaded in the chamber where the vote to raid Haven's Reach had once been cast. The human representative arrived alone, a woman in black armor, helmet under her arm, eyes like fire. She stood in the center of the chamber, listening to their desperate words. When they finished, she spoke only once. "The first law of the galaxy was never ours. You wrote it. You remembered it. You swore by it. And then you broke it." Her voice dropped to a whisper, but it carried more weight than fleets. "We don't forgive." She turned and left, and in her wake, the council chamber shook with silence. From that day forward, the law was no longer a whisper. It was a commandment, burned into the heart of every species. Do not touch the human children, because the galaxy had learned what followed and it never wanted to learn again.